today's news.
What's that at Harvard?
This country is in a very dangerous trap.
Manhunt intensifies for escaped murderer.
My heart just sank.
SpaceX test fails.
They have to launch multiple successful flights before anyone's going to put people on board.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. We're hearing from students at Harvard University, which has been the target of the Trump administration. It's moved to cancel all federal contracts with the school, and international students there could be forced to leave. Here's CBS's Nikki Batiste.
Students gathered on Harvard's campus last night, protesting the Trump administration's treatment of the Ivy League school and rallying in support of international students whose education here is in jeopardy. Leo Gerden is a senior from Sweden.
When I see, a man on the street, the thought often comes to my head that it might be an ICE agent.
On Friday, a federal judge in Boston temporarily blocked the U.S. Department of Homeland Security from revoking Harvard's foreign student enrollment. The Trump administration has already canceled about $3.2 billion in federal research grants and contracts for the university. But a letter sent Tuesday from the U.S. General Services Administration directed federal agencies to review all remaining contracts with Harvard for termination or transition.
Families where the State Department has halted the scheduling of new visa interviews for foreign students hoping to study in the U.S., while it gets set to expand the screening of their activity on social media. CBS's Nancy Cordes tells us President Trump is using social media to lash out at Vladimir Putin over the war in Ukraine.
Trump's post suggests he's getting increasingly frustrated with the Russian president as Putin flouts attempts at a ceasefire with new air assaults on Ukraine. And now the Russians even appear to be mocking Trump's frustration. Yesterday, Trump once again lashed out at Putin. He said, quote, "If it weren't for me, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia. And I mean really bad. He, Putin, is playing with fire." That prompted this provocative response from Russian security official Dmitry Medvedev, who said, quote, "I only know of one really bad thing, World War III.
Now to Arkansas, CBS's Ian Lee has the latest on the massive manhunt for a former police chief serving time for murder who escaped from prison over the weekend.
How would you describe Grant Hartford?
Just an evil person.
Gateway, Arkansas Mayor Cheryl Tillman is reliving a nightmare. Grant Hardin, a former police chief of the very same town, murdered her brother James Appleton in February 2017. What was your reaction when you heard he escaped prison?
I thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do now?
Hardin had been a prisoner at the North Central Unit in northern Arkansas since 2017. Serving 80 years following murder and rape conviction.
He's in prison, and they're not supposed to escape, so somebody wasn't doing their job.
He escaped Sunday while wearing an outfit designed to mimic law enforcement. According to an affidavit, a prison officer opened a secure gate, allowing him to escape.
I'm scared. I don't like guns, but we have one loaded now.
A new setback for SpaceX as a test launch of the Starship rocket started well but ended badly. CBS's Jason Allen says it's the third effort in a row with major problems.
From the new officially named city of Starbase, Texas, SpaceX's Starship successfully lifted off, but couldn't come back down. As the booster returned to Earth, a flash of flame erupted. People watching from Texas beaches could see the booster explode in the air. Engineers lost the ability to control the Starship's movements, and it broke apart over the Indian Ocean. In January and March, the Starship came apart after launch, sending fiery debris raining over the Caribbean. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood.
The Super Heavy Starship is the largest, most powerful rocket ever built by far. They've got to get this spacecraft operating successfully.
NASA is counting on a version of the Starship to carry astronauts back to the moon in 2027.
SpaceX founder Elon Musk has expressed criticism of President Trump's spending bill that passed the House last week. He was interviewed by CBS Sunday morning.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
Musk has spent much of his time this year working with Trump to slash the federal government. It's coming up on 5 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. It's 56 degrees in Vallejo, California. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming.